morning. Oh, come on, you can better than that. Good morning. Oh, it's much better. Thank you. Welcome to the Young Harris College Commencement Ceremony 2019. In a few moments, we will begin our ceremony. But before we do, I have 4 requests. First, at this time, we ask that you please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Second, we encourage you to applaud and celebrate your graduates as their names are called in a manner that respects the other graduates. So every graduate today has earned his or her own moment on the stage, and every graduate deserves to hear his or her own name called out. Now, I'll be calling out all the names. I will wait if it's getting too loud for too long to make sure everyone has a moment to, but that will slow things down. So just make sure that celebrate in an appropriate way. That's great. We want you to celebrate. No air horns, please. There's no need for that. We're not on boats. Third, we encourage you to take photos or videos, but please be mindful of those around you as they're looking, they want to watch as well, and do not block the aisles, please, at any time. Finally, at the conclusion of today's ceremony, please remain in your places until all of our graduates have left the arena. In addition, should you have young children who need to move or are otherwise overwhelmed by the proceedings, please know that we have set aside room 100, which is back through where you came in, on this floor behind the bleachers, to the right on this side of the arena, and the entire ceremony is being broadcast live in that space if you need to go there, okay? Our ceremony will begin in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Young Harris College Commencement Ceremony for the class of 2019. Please remain standing for our national anthem led by Professor Jeff Ballman, followed by the invocation by Miss Leslie Ballou, class of 2019.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
As we join together today, we enter this place in one mind, a mind of exuberance, accomplishment, celebration. Gathered in unity in the midst of this milestone, may we turn our hearts and minds to God in celebration. Let us pause now and pray together. God of all ages, of the many places we call home, of this enchanted valley that has become our home, we turn to you in thanksgiving. You have gathered us today to take a moment and celebrate. During this time of transformation, may we recognize all the moments that led us here today. May we lift to you the journeys of success, failure, and growth. May we recognize the communities that supported us throughout our time at Young Harris College, the communities that were formed along the way, and the communities we are to enter as we take our next great steps. Gracious God, we recognize the divine mystery of your creation. We give thanks for the new grace and meaning bestowed upon us during our treasured time at Young Harris College. You have graciously inspired us with wisdom, empowered us with gifts that will guide our work and a call to service. We ask now that you continue to challenge and strengthen us in your abiding presence as we pursue lives worthy of this call. May we also empower and encourage each other as we walk together in the Spirit, as we recognize the place we may be today, be it a mountaintop, a valley, or a place in between. May we celebrate both the endings and the beginnings that today signifies. May our lives be forever touched and forever changed from our time at YHC. In your holy and loving name we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. Well, good morning. We apologize for the weather today. This is not what we ordered. I'm going to have to talk to Chaplain Blair after we get through here. But this is nevertheless a fantastic morning to be at Young Harris College as we celebrate the class of 2019. As those of you who have attended commencement ceremonies know, this event is all about change. Today, these candidates for degrees change into college graduates. These fine Young Harris students change into the newest Young Harris alumni. But change is happening not just for those here in Regalia. Young Harris is also changing. Today, we award our first Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees in musical theater and our first Bachelor of Science degrees in economics and in management. Thank you. Next year, we will award new degrees in accounting, finance, marketing, and theater design. And we will award our first graduate degree next year, the Masters of Arts in Teaching, to students who have just begun or are just about to begin this new one-year program. And our ceremony today has changed as well. As part of Young Harris's unwavering commitment to educating, inspiring, and empowering students, we have updated commencement to put more focus on our graduates. You've already heard Leslie's stirring and heartfelt invocation. In a few moments, you will hear greetings from Lexi Hooper, our outgoing president of the Student Government Association, and our keynote address will be given by a senior, Paxton Spessard. Our ceremony will feature 2 musical numbers by graduating performing arts majors. All are members of the class of 2019. And we have asked them to be on stage today, not only because we are so proud of them, which we are, but also so that we can show off to you just how amazing these students and Young Harris graduates are. So thank you for all joining us today as we celebrate these young men and women and the members of the class of 2019.
Good morning. My name is Lexi Hooper, and for the past year, I have served as the president of the Young Harris College Student Government Association. As the outgoing SGA president, I have the honor of welcoming you all to this historic and exciting occasion on behalf of the student body. Today, though, we celebrate not only the class of 2019. One very important tradition at Young Harris is taking the time at commencement to celebrate our alumni community. If you're a graduate of YHC, please stand to be recognized. There is also a special group of alumni here today whom I want to recognize, the members of the class of 1969. These Golden Lions are celebrating 50 years, since they walked across the stage at Young Harris. Members of the class of 1969, please stand if you are able so that we may recognize you. It is an honor to have you here today, you, the class of 1969, as alumni, we, the class of 2019, as alumni-to-be, in just about an hour. And though 50 years may separate our times here in the Enchanted Valley, we come together today to celebrate the love that we share for this school. Fellow graduates, we made it. We are now part of the Young Harris 133-year history, and 50 years from now, I feel confident that many of us will return to celebrate the future graduates and tell them about our times here and the mark that we left on YHC. We'll be able to tell them about things like welcome back, village lawn parties, and going to TCB on a pretty day after or maybe instead of doing homework. And we will be able to tell them that we were the first class that finally made some progress with the alcohol policy. And as cheesy as it may sound, today truly is the beginning of a new journey for each of us. I challenge each of you to keep the drive and determination that we showed here, wherever we may go next in our lives. So let us go forth and show with confidence just how well Young Harris prepared us for whatever comes next. To all of the guests joining us today, thank you. Thank you for joining us and helping us celebrate one of the most important and memorable occasions of our lives. You have supported us and cared for us, encouraged us, and helped us keep working toward this day. Without you, many of us would have not made it. So on behalf of the class of 2019, thank you for celebrating today with us. And to all of you, welcome.
Good morning. Yes, I'll do.
On behalf of the Young Harris College Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to offer our congratulations to each of you graduates and families on a job well done. And we do, in fact, have some of those trustees here today with us, and I'd like to recognize them by asking them to stand. These and many others not here today give countless hours of their time, their experience, and their resources because they love this college and they love its mission. And seeing you today as you graduate is what makes it worth it. I think you will find that the last 4 years have prepared you well as you embark on the next phase of your life, whether that's graduate school or your career. I say that because I attended Young Harris more years ago than I like to remember now, and I can tell you it had a huge impact and a positive impact on mine as I worked through a career in investments. I would also mention that my daughter graduated from Young Harris as well and has moved on to a successful career with a well-known software firm in Atlanta, and she currently serves on the Young Harris Young Alumni Council. And I mention that because we don't want this to be the last time that we see or hear from you. Stay in touch with the alumni office. Keep them informed of your career achievements, your life events. We want to celebrate all of those with you. Attend the alumni events if you can. It's a great way to stay connected with other alumni, but it's also great for networking, and that may come in handy as you start your careers and move forward. So in closing, let me again congratulate you, the class of 2019, on an amazing achievement. We look forward to welcoming you as fellow alumni, and you never know, you may one day find yourself serving on the board as well. Congratulations.
The term honorary degree, which dates back to the Middle Ages, comes from the Latin honoris causa, or for the sake of honor. This prestigious honor is bestowed to people who, through their life accomplishments, have exemplified the values of the awarding institution. 3 values in words exemplify Young Harris College: educating, inspiring, and empowering. Today's recipient of this honor has lived and practiced these areas since his graduation from this college in 1961. I draw your attention to the commencement program, where you can read the accolades and accomplishments of Dr. Don A. Harp, Jr. As you will read, the Reverend Dr. Don Harp has dedicated his life to his calling as a minister in the United Methodist Church, from being a pastor of a small congregation to delivering the opening prayers for the U.S. Senate. Dr. Harp has always remained a humble servant. In fact, he has always referred to himself as just a farm boy from Inman, Georgia. I'll now ask Dr. Harp to come, and Kurt Moen, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, and stand with me. With Dr. Harp today are close friends. 3 of these people whose family have made a significant impact on Young Harris College. They are Randall, Peggy, and Pam Rollins. The Rollins family has contributed to facilities, Rollins Hall, the O. Wayne and Grace Rollins Planetarium, the Rollins Campus Center, and most recently, our new band building. In addition, the Rollins family generously provides scholarship assistance for our students. Mr. and Ms. Rollins, Pam, on behalf of Young Harris, we give you our thanks. Most importantly, joining Dr. Harp today are his wife of 56 years, Mary Ellen, and his children, Robin, with her husband David, and Alan, his wife Julie, and their grandchildren, Don III, Harrison, Serenelle, Julie, Joss, and Isabel. We're glad you could be here with us. Dr. Harp, whereas you have spent your life promoting education, both spiritually and academically, as keys to peace and self-worth, and whereas you have inspired countless people through your words, your sincerity, and your caring, and whereas you have made a mission in your life to empower people to be confident in their faith, to be confident in who they are in God's sight, and by standing and speaking for those who have no standing or nor voice. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Young Harris College, I award you with the Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges of Young Harris College. Well, I asked Dr. Harp to remain standing with me for one more thing. I'll take this back from you. Have you paid your bill? If you haven't, we don't get your diploma. Oh. The Young Harris College Medallion is the highest honor given by this college. Each year since 1969, the medallion has been awarded to an alumnus, alumna, or friend of Young Harris College who has made extraordinary contributions to the college. As you have read in the program and heard from this platform, the accomplishments and accolades regarding Dr. Don Harp. I wish to add that Young Harris College is deeply appreciative of the leadership, guidance, and fundraising that Dr. Harp has done on behalf of this college. In fact, I don't doubt that you bleed purple. Therefore, as president of Young Harris College, it is my great honor to award the Young Harris College Medallion of Honor to the Reverend Dr. Don A. Harp, Jr.
Last night was so special to be able to speak to you in the baccalaureate. I'm like my good friend, Mr. Rolland. His family has tried to honor them several times. And once they got him caught in the crosshairs, he accepted the award and said thank you. And I'm so grateful. I came here as a farm boy who didn't know anything. I left as a farm boy and knew a little bit, and that's where I am today. Just a farm boy from Inman. Who loves Young Harris College. It has literally changed my life. And for that, I shall be eternally grateful. And until I move to the next place, hopefully to see my friend Zell. Hope you're looking, Zell. Maybe we can get a baseball team. I shall support, contribute, and speak a good word for Young Harris all of the days of my life. God bless you, and thank you.
Every year at commencement, the college recognizes graduating student or students who earn the highest grade point average with the Charles R. Clegg Outstanding Scholar Award, named in honor of the beloved college president who served from 1950 to 1963. This year, we have one recipient. This student spent 4 years at Young Harris, taking courses in 8 consecutive semesters, plus a summer internship, successfully completing 51 courses during that time, and in every single one, he earned an A. Graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA, the recipient of this year's Charles R. Clegg Outstanding Scholar Award is Paxton Spessard. This year, Young Harris College returns to its tradition of making 5 awards to graduating students at commencement. 2 YHC Spirit Awards, the Algernon Sidney Sullivan and Mary Mildred Sullivan Awards, and the Zell B. Miller Leadership Award. Nominations are solicited from the entire campus community, and awards are determined by a select panel of faculty members, staff members, and administrators. The descriptions of the recipients you're about to hear come directly from the nominations. First, the Young Harris College Spirit Awards. This award recognizes the graduates who best exemplify the Young Harris spirit, that ineffable characteristic that students and alumni know makes the college a unique and special place. Recipients have demonstrated outstanding levels of personal integrity, friendliness, and engagement with the campus community. One recipient has a smile and a generous spirit that brings joy to any gathering. He has a humility and an openness that draws others to him, and he connects with so many people on so many levels that he creates comfort and confidence with everyone he meets. He is a ray of sunshine who constantly pumps up the volume when it comes to his love for young Harris. The other recipient seems to have never had a bad day. She passionately loves life and loves young Harris. She always makes others feel important, respected, and good about themselves. She travels the globe spreading the good news about her creator while singing the praises of her amazing experience in the Enchanted Valley. The recipients of the 2019 Young Harris College Spirit Awards are Bakari Garvin and Myra Leva. Young Harris is one of 70 colleges and universities in the Southeast that present annual awards in honor of Algernon Sidney Sullivan and Mary Mildred Sullivan. Established in 1890, these awards recognize college graduates of noble character who have acted as humble servants by putting service to others before self-interest. The recipient of the Mary Mildred Sullivan Award is known across campus for founding chapters of service networks and amplifying conversations about religious diversity. She is an agent of welcome and hospitality who constantly puts herself in situations to help others. She is a fabulous leader and, quote, she rocks. The recipient of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award is someone who has repeatedly and unfailingly facilitated necessary conversations about diversity and inclusion. He is appreciated for asking tough questions, for engaging in deep conversations, and for helping others understand, through both words and actions, that taking the time to disagree is an act of respect and love. The recipients of the 2019 Mary Mildred Sullivan Award and of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award are Leslie Ballou and Khalid Johnson. Our final award this morning is the Zell B. Miller Leadership Award, named in tribute of the Honorable Zell B. Miller, class of 1951, the longtime Young Harris College trustee who served as Georgia's governor and U.S. Senator. We are fortunate today to be joined by former First Lady of Georgia and YHC alumna from the class of 1954, Shirley Miller. Mrs. Miller, will you please join Dr. Van Hoen on stage? The Zell B. Miller Leadership Award recognizes the graduating student who has made significant contributions to campus life at Young Harris as an outstanding leader and role model. This year's recipient is a unique, creative spirit who leads both formally and informally. A dedicated student, servant, and artist, this person exudes genuine human kindness and has a contagious enthusiasm for discussion. But the recipient is also remarkable for not being risk-averse, for pursuing subjects that pique curiosity, and for finding unexpected, even stunning means of bridging disparate ideas together in ways that inspire, challenge, and touch all around. The 2019 Zell B. Miller Leadership Award is presented to Alejandro Limas Gomez. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Paxton Spessard. You will see in your program that Paxton is graduating with a degree in outdoor leadership, and you'll know from his receiving the Charles R. Clegg Outstanding Scholar Award that Paxton has not exactly coasted through his classes at Young Harris. But there is far more to Paxton than these achievements. And as I have had too little opportunity to get to know him, I thought it prudent to speak with a couple of members of the YHC community for some insights. Professor Joseph Pate, his academic advisor and program coordinator, and Anna Dyer, his classmate, fellow graduate, and fiancé. Here's what they had to say. Paxton embodies the essence of service and humility. He seeks to lead and serve without accolades or attention through humility and grace. Anyone who has interacted with Paxton can attest to his joyful attitude, his genuine kindness, and his humble persona. He just makes people feel valuable and important. Paxton loves the outdoors. These Blue Ridge Mountains have played an irreplaceable role in his YHC experience. The surrounding trails, mountains, lakes, and rivers are his place of rest, his place of adventure, and his place of community. What is particularly commendable about Paxton is that not only is he an incredible student, he's an even better human being. He values and cares for all living things. And in his time at Young Harris, he has rescued a stray dog out of the highway by the college, a lost cat discovered while he was out running on a mountain trail, and even a pygmy goat that he found on the side of a road during a downpour. He's a talented scholar, athlete, musician, and artist, a student of the pileated woodpecker, a stand-up whitewater paddleboarder, a former child star of America's Funniest Home Videos, a frequent partaker of 99-cent pancakes at Mary's Southern Grill on Tuesdays, and an individual who holds himself to an unparalleled standard of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, Paxton Spessard.
Good morning, class of 2019. It is an absolute honor to have the opportunity to give this address. And before we go any further, I simply have to say, congratulations. We made it. To walk across this stage today is emblematic of the past 4 years of hard work, dedication, and commitment. It's the punctuation to all the ups and downs, victories and defeats, trials and triumphs. It is my hope that we don't take this ceremony lightly because it has the potential to be such a powerful symbol. It's a mile marker, a stake in the ground, something we will look back on as a seismic shift in our life journeys, a moment of transition in our personal trajectories. In preparing this speech, I wanted to do justice to all that it means to be a graduate from Young Harris College. And because this is no easy task, and also because I've never given a commencement address before, I knew I needed to do some research before I sat down and put pen to paper. So, like any good student, I turned to the highly reliable source of YouTube. I wanted to learn how other individuals had approached this task and see if there was anything I might gain from their insights. And let me tell you, if you do a search of best commencement speeches, the results are a bit intimidating. I was scrolling through video after video of addresses by highly influential people people who are known and respected by the whole of society and who probably have much more wisdom to offer than I do. So I apologize in advance that I'm not Steve Jobs or Oprah or Elon Musk or Matthew McConaughey or J.K. Rowling or Conan O'Brien. The list goes on and on. And while all of these people served as incredible commencement speakers, I have to admit that I found their talks to be a bit uninteresting. Sure, they were moving, but the critical side of me took note of the predictability, the generalizations, vague references to things like courage and integrity and service. This artificial buildup of energy that indeed leads to momentary inspiration, but never to any lasting impact. And I think there's a reason for this. Many of these celebrities and visionaries were addressing audiences they weren't connected to in places they were unfamiliar with. So while I haven't created a multi-billion-dollar technology company or written a best-selling book series or seriously thought about traveling to Mars, I think I possess something unique, something that someone on the outside could never have, a connection to the spirit of young Harris. I know about how when the sun rises from Crow Gap, just behind this rec center, light rays shoot through the tunnel of the valley like a flashlight blinking behind a keyhole. I know that in the spring, when it rains all day, Cupid's Falls changes from a cute creek into a raging Class 3 rapid that resembles a cascading froth of violent chocolate milk. I know those early mornings in Goolsby or Maxwell and late nights in the library. I know that mid-test fear when an exam you thought was going to be a walk in the park transforms into your newest nightmare. I know that on Sunday mornings, if the omelet line is pushed all the way back to the bananas, it's probably not worth the wait. But if it's just backed up to the toasters, you better seize the opportunity. I know about the echoes of cheers that ring out from the plaza every Wednesday night. I know the entirely unique experience of a party in the org loft. I know that just over the hill, there's a restaurant called Mary's that has 99-cent pancakes on Tuesday, and that the Blairsville Ingalls is without a doubt superior to the Hiawassee Ingalls. I know that the spirit of Manje will live on forever. I know that on any given day, if you walk through the Rollins Campus Center, there will be a plethora of organizations that will persuade you to buy everything from t-shirts to mugs to fried Oreos. And I know about the community, about how this school is made up of students that will drop anything to lend a helping hand or a listening ear. Full of faculty that believe in a kind of education that's not transactional, but transformational. Full of staff whose greatest joy it is to make these buildings and walls and hills and halls feel more like a home. After 4 years of living and learning in this place, I know young Harris. We all do. In our own unique ways, whether we realize it or not, this college has left a mark on us, and we have left a mark on it. Now, I know I can't speak for everyone, but I think that if we've made it this far to graduation day, we've not only enjoyed our time here, but we've loved our time here. There's been something special that's kept us around. Whether it be academics or sports or organizations, we've all carved these little caves of refuge into the hard rock of the institution. But now, we're being called out of these comfortable caves, and that is why we are here today. It's our time to move on, to conclude one chapter and begin another, to launch off into the great unknown with unwavering confidence, acute clarity, and all the necessary tools for not only personal and professional success, but deep fulfillment. Right? Or maybe it's more complicated than that. To help us work through the convoluted nature of transition and reflect on the meaning of the past 4 years of our lives, I want to use the philosophical idea of a telos. Dr. Joseph Pate introduced me to this idea in class last year, and it's become something I've latched onto and leveraged to make sense of a number of experiences and phenomena both in and out of the classroom. We could loosely define a telos as a goal, but it carries much more weight than a mere objective. It would be more accurately described as an ultimate aim, that which something does when it is functioning at its highest potential. So, for example, one could argue that the telos of an acorn is an oak tree, or that the telos of a bird's wings is to enable flight. So, in light of this, I want my speech today to act as the answer to the following question. What is the telos of the Young Harris experience? When I came to YHC 4 years ago, before I even had the chance to unlock my dorm room in Towers for the first time, I was bombarded with an all too familiar question. What do you want to do with your life? Picture me, a wide-eyed 18-year-old, hair down to my shoulders, tie-dye shirt, bare feet, big smile. Do you think I had any idea what my future looked like? Absolutely not. All I knew is that I was only in class for about 4 hours a day, that there was this big green lawn outside where it seemed like a frisbee was always in the air, and that I was surrounded by the allure of endless adventures in the mountains. That was my reality, and I was happy with it. Fast forward 4 years, and I've cut my hair, gotten glasses, and started wearing shoes. Most of the time. But I'm still getting bombarded by that haunting question, what do you want to do with your life? Do you think that today, as I stand on this stage, I have any idea what my future looks like? Absolutely not. But I can tell you a few things. I know that this summer, I'm going home to work a landscaping job. And yes, that's exactly what you think it means. It means I'm going to cut a lot of grass. But it's giving me the chance to improve my Spanish, and I'm going to save up as much money as possible so that when August rolls around and I get to marry the woman of my dreams, we can hopefully buy a couple of one-way tickets to Spain and see what happens. That's about all I know about my future. It's my new reality, and I'm happy with it. However, I really don't know what I want to do with my life. But Paxton, you may ask, isn't that the point of college? To grind it out for 4 years, snag that diploma, then land the dream job which will drop you off gently into the utopian land of retirement? Is the telos of college simply to be equipped for the workplace? I'm not sure, but consider this. Because many people equate job with cessation of thought, this would mean that the entire system of education, which is built on the pursuit of knowledge and the drive to learn, has an ultimate aim that leads to the destruction of its very foundation. If this is the telos, then the educational system we have been a part of for the majority of our lives is going to crumble the second we walk across the stage. If this is the case, then is the telos of college the pursuit of the freedom of thought? A secure bubble in which young adults can analyze literature, create poetry, make art, carry out experiments, and think for the sake of thinking? If this is the case, should we be paying exorbitant amounts of money to simply think? Could I write on my resume extensive experience in pondering things? One could argue from an economic standpoint that a cost-benefit analysis of college would turn out a bit imbalanced if the freedom of thought was the ultimate aim. So what is it? Many of the arguments surrounding higher education today circulate around the tension that is found in the perceived dichotomy between the liberal arts and professional programs. What is the most effective telos? If I don't get the job I desire, has my degree been proven useless? Or conversely, if I get the job but fall prey to the illusion that I am done learning, has my 4-year undergraduate experience failed me? Or perhaps, have I failed my 4-year undergraduate experience? Which is it? In the midst of these contradicting opinions about the ultimate aims of the academy, it makes sense that many people are confused and in turn call into question the value of higher education. But maybe there's a way to deconstruct the toxic dualism, reconcile these two realms that are seemingly juxtaposed to one another, and revamp some of the trust in the value of college, specifically the Young Harris experience. As an outdoor leadership major, many of our conversations revolve around tinkering with the tricky nature of experiential learning, and the writings of 20th century educational philosopher John Dewey often help create a foundation for these discussions. Within his principle of the continuity of experience is the idea that every experience is a moving force. Its value can be judged only on the ground of what it moves toward and into. So I now pose another question to the class of 2019. What is your Young Harris experience moving toward and into? Now, I know that it would be relatively easy to answer this externally, as in medical school or Cambridge or the corporate world or landscaping. But what I want to get after is the internal, as in, what kind of person has your Young Harris experience prepared you to become? What kind of person is your current self moving toward? What kind of person will the student self become when it changes to a graduated self? In my opinion, wrestling with this question could lead us to the true telos. And notice I didn't say answering the question, but wrestling with the question. It's not something I can define or interpret concretely with an all-encompassing generalization, but it's something that we as individuals have to come up with for ourselves. It takes a lifetime to discover, and that is a good thing. So if this is the framework we are operating under, that is, seeing the importance of striving to figure out what the Young Harris experience is moving toward and into, then it doesn't matter if we're going to be a neurosurgeon or a barista or a carpenter or a painter or a dentist or a coach or a teacher or a salesperson or a scholar or a musician or whatever. What matters is whether or not we are being intentional and mindful about what and who we are moving towards and into. And I think that the ultimate aim of Young Harris should be to get students to a place where they are equipped to take part in this exercise for themselves. A place where we can think reflexively and relentlessly chase after our true identities. But then, we must resist the urge to get caught up in the egocentric pursuit of more for the sake of more, and perhaps the even more dangerous, more for the sake of me. We must seek to find that elusive place that Frederick Buechner describes as the intersection point between our deep gladness and the world's deep hunger. Here is where the giving back happens, where the self we are moving towards and into begins to think less and less about itself and more about the other. How can I serve? How can I give back? How can I leverage my personal uniqueness to improve my community? The true telos of the Young Harris experience should always push us towards a pouring out, always lead us away from an excessively self-centered existence. Often, I conceptualize my time at Young Harris through the metaphor of a gift. Think back to that birthday as a child where you received a present you had been wanting for a long time. There was that moment when you saw the box, picked it up, shook it, and knew exactly what it was. For me, it was always the sound of plastic Lego bricks ricocheting off each other that got me more excited than anything else in the world. But then, what did you do? You tore off the wrapping paper, opened the box, and spent the rest of the day using the gift, enjoying the gift, and allowing it to enhance the quality of your existence. Let's think about this in light of your Young Harris experience. You received the gift, but have you started to unwrap it? Is it still buried in your junk drawer? Perhaps it's already packed up in your car. Perhaps you started to open it but got distracted. Maybe you've seen the gift but haven't tinkered with it yet to learn how it works. Regardless of where you are in this process, the gift of the Young Harris experience is still waiting for you to enjoy it, utilize it, and allow it to enhance the quality of your existence. It is my hope that at some point in our lives, we are all able to tear off the wrapping paper completely. I'll conclude by pointing out the obvious. There's a lot of skepticism and mistrust orbiting around our generation. What's going to happen when these precious little snowflakes hit the workplace? What are these kids going to do when their parents stop paying for Spotify Premium? All jokes aside, I think that if anyone doubts the potential of this graduating class, they're going to be in for a shock when they observe the ripples of positivity and progress-oriented change that are inevitably going to be ignited by individuals in this very room. I'm beyond proud to play a role in this process, to call myself a graduate from Young Harris College, and I hope that you are too. So I leave you with the following charge. It's a mantra, a battle cry, a slogan of sorts that ideally will unify us in a collective mission. Go forth, fail forward, default to kindness, seek to understand, be authentic, live boldly, and follow your bliss. Go forth, fail forward, default to kindness, seek to understand, be authentic, live boldly, and follow your bliss. Those may sound like simple statements, but I think it takes a lifetime to truly comprehend their weight. But if we strive to conduct ourselves in this manner and move closer to these elusive ideals, I'm confident that the ultimate aims of this institution, the telos of Young Harris College, will become manifest. Our lives will be brimming with purpose and passion and adventure. And may our hearts be forever mountain lion purple. Thank you.
What's gonna happen when we go
Now we come to the heart, to the telos of today's ceremony, the conferring of degrees. Candidates, as you prepare for your moment on the stage, I want you to recall a piece of advice that the Reverend Phil DeMoore, class of 1963 and president of the YHC Alumni Association, gave you at the senior reception this past Wednesday evening. He said, "Never forget to say thank you." We have already recognized our trustees here in attendance and thanked them, but there are two other groups I think that you'd like to have an opportunity to thank. First, the degrees you have earned are based upon a recommendation of the faculty, the finest group of teachers and scholars anywhere, people who have taught and graded, advised, and supported you during your years at Young Harris. You've also been sustained on your journey by the work of our tireless staff, everyone a consummate professional whose most important goal has been your success. Along with your classmates, these are the people you will recall years from now when you think back to your time in the Enchanted Valley. Assembled faculty and members of the staff in attendance, please stand so that the members of the class of 2019 may recognize you. And second, few people can make a journey like the one you are about to complete alone. Each of you has a unique support network, a community of individuals who gather today to celebrate your achievement. But it is an achievement you could not have made without them. I therefore ask all parents, grandparents, siblings, spouses, children, friends, colleagues, significant others, please rise so that the graduates may thank you for all you've done to get them here. And now, it's time. Would all candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, Education, and Bachelor of Science please rise? President Van Horn, on behalf of the Young Harris College faculty, it is my privilege to recommend to you these candidates for degrees. Each candidate has completed or shortly will complete all program requirements developed by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees.
Candidates, with your successful completion of all program requirements, by the authority vested in me by the Young Harris Board of Trustees and by the state of Georgia, I hereby confer upon you the degree you have earned with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Please come forward one at a time when Dr. Pierce calls your name to receive your diploma.
Kayla Lane Highfield. Khalid Rashawn Sam Johnson. Shelby Lawrence. Madison Reynolds, cum laude. Sarah Grace Elizabeth Scott. Hallie Davis Smith, cum laude. Tyler Kent Anderson. Abigail Reynolds Betts. Taylor Bree Buffington. Erica Marcella Cross. Not saying that. Roderick Paul Galloway. Savannah Paige Garrick. Brian Austin G. Alexis Mariah Hooper. Wendy Nicole Jordan, magna cum laude. Christian Tyler Noonan. Samuel, not Pham. Rochet. Bailey Jennifer Roche. I know. Sydney Elizabeth Rohde. Olivia Camille Scott, cum laude. Zachary Paul Young. William Harrison Bennett, Jr. Louis Crawford, cum laude. Stenidria Alicia Evans. Isaac Keith Nicholson. Olivia Joyce Brock. Laura Ashley Dombrowski. Alejandro Limas Gomez, summa cum laude. Casey Lee Long, cum laude. Kristen Cody Scoggins. Kenneth Michael Webb. Whitney Elizabeth West, magna cum laude. Thomas Walter Fountain. Joseph Dane Milner, summa cum laude. Aaron Christopher Rayborn. Emmanuel Wayne Anthony Steele, cum laude. Amanda Marie Thomas, summa cum laude. Leslie Elaine Ballou, cum laude. Haley Nicole Bartlett. Emma Jane Brown. Casey M. Clarida, magna cum laude. Anna McLean Dyer, magna cum laude. Destin Ray McCall Garrison. Gabriel Philip Gilliland, cum laude. Eliza Georgia Huff, magna cum laude. Myra Lisette Leva. McKenna Elaine Malden, magna cum laude. Holly Rebecca Nunn. Casey Savannah Rogers, magna cum laude. Tanisha Taylor. John Caleb Biddy. Colin Lee McCain, magna cum laude. Caitlin Janelle Moore. Ariel Morgana Philo, magna cum laude. Zachary Alexander, magna cum laude. Daniel James Harper. Jennifer Nebraska Osment. Lisbeth Granados. Jessica Lynn Leela Poole. Molly Star Wilfong, magna cum laude. Bakari Shashwang Garvin. Quinton Joseph Adams Nash. Keely Suzanne Adkisson, cum laude. Charles Ellerby, Jr. Kevin Alexander Rains. Kara Rose Sullivan. Kristen Amber Talley. Idria Joelle Moore, magna cum laude. Kirsten Elizabeth Barth. Kendra Leanne Bilbo. Tyler Neil Bryson. Aubrey Peyton Crowell. Pamela Udodadrim Diakpara. Lex Dunn. Samuel Nathan Flagg, magna cum laude. Haley Elizabeth Garrett, magna cum laude. Ansley Grace Garrison, cum laude. Courtney Michaela Harris. Colleen Johnson, magna cum laude. John Blake Mativier. William Parker Moon, summa cum laude. Justina Riley Onabeng. Anna Elise Ragsdale, summa cum laude. Brittany Marie Ring. Hannah Sophia Sacristan. Kristen Olivia Scoggins. Bailey Ann Strickland. Manus Belegemeyer. Carl Frederick Brandstrom, cum laude. Austin Andrew Bryson, summa cum laude. Elena Madeline Calhoun, magna cum laude. Asha Lynn Cancer. Taylor Ann Chalice. John William Davenport III. Jonathan Gabriel Doster, magna cum laude. John Morrison Ganter, magna cum laude. Maria Paula Guzman. Robert Mason King. James Matthew Laput. Cody Ryan Ledbetter. Costa Emiliano Lopez Sandoval. Owen Tyler Lowry, cum laude. Bevan Michael Pate. Sarah Ann Reed, cum laude. Deli Lucero Robaya Garcia. Bruce Lloyd Silk, cum laude. Joshua Alexander Smith. Ryan Alexander Spangenberg. Garrett Ryder Blake, magna cum laude. John Morgan Bogenschutz. John Joseph Chisholm. Samantha Jo Conklin. Chandler Sean Dillon. Savannah Lee Harden. Ashley Camille Kirkland. Daniel Allen McKee. Lena Marie Powell. Thomas Graham Roginski, magna cum laude. Patrick Bailey Hogshead. Taylor Nicole Beck, cum laude. Taylor Brooke Hall, cum laude. Victoria Lynn Williams, magna cum laude. Caroline Elizabeth Cox, magna cum laude. Hannah Leah David. Leland Thomas Bagwell. Marcia Louise Hall. Oriana Belen Labaki, magna cum laude. Javier Biar, cum laude. Caitlin Blair Harper, cum laude. Jose Luis Rodriguez Jr., magna cum laude. Joseph Egan Becknell. Abigail Renee Boykin, cum laude. Elena Kate Hefner, cum laude. Madeline Camille Peak, magna cum laude. Paxton Henry Spessard, summa cum laude. Blake Davis Andrews. Kyle Brooks Beverly, cum laude. Nixon Wesley Blanc. Eli Cole Bohannon. Caroline Elizabeth Bota. Cassandra Joy Edwards, cum laude. Sonia Arali Galdamez, cum laude. Carly Michelle Gilfillian, magna cum laude. Kelsey Libeth Gustafson, cum laude. Melisa Lee Hall. Morgan Lee Lawrence. Bridget Kara Lynch. Sydney Ariel Margaret Malloy. Kelsey Nicole Nix. Ryan Patrick O'Donnell. Anna Elin Peterson, summa cum laude. Dana Swift Poppleton. Biani Serrano. Mitchell Todd Schull. Sydney Alexandria Story. Chloe Hannah Thomason, cum laude. Emily Lauren Thompson. Alexander Estes Troa. Kayla Renee Tucker. Molly Catherine Vinson, cum laude.
Yeah, Molly.
Reagan Isabella Wilhite, cum laude.
My turn. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these group a round of applause, the class of 2019. It is the tradition at commencement for the president to have the last word for the graduates. It's called a charge. I like the fact that the definition of the verb is to impose a duty, a responsibility, or an obligation upon. You've received a few of those charges over the last few days. Before I give you such a charge, I want to share with you a few thoughts that I think are important. All of you are free to listen in, but these remarks are geared for those who are before me today, the graduates. These thoughts are not academic. They are thoughts regarding life. I present them knowing that they may not apply to each of you. They are offered free of charge and so you're free to disregard them. Graduates, as I look out among you today, I see tremendous voices, talented athletes, actors and actresses, activists, innovative thinkers, counselors, and leaders. You have accomplished a great goal, and you're now wanting to move on into the world to get on with the next phase of life. The first thing that I want to tell you is this. Don't you take to heart the negative comments that may come your way. You are more than capable. You are very, very adequate. I have seen too many people who followed negative comments, and they've allowed them to shape how they see themselves. Don't do that. Second, we are reminded today by the conflicts among mankind and by the natural disasters that we experience, that we live in a world that is scary and uncertain. And yes, while uncertainty can be scary, please do not let fear gain a foothold in your lives. In my career, I have talked to many people and worked with many people, and one fear seems to be prevalent among most humans. Do you know what that fear is? Fear of failure. Take it to heart when I tell you that as a people and as a country, we can't afford you to be afraid. I want you to be able to stand and be better than that area. In the times when I have struggled with fear of failure, I like what it says in 2 Timothy 1:7. For God did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. While Franklin Roosevelt's statement on fear is probably more said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself, I like what his wife Eleanor had to say a little bit better on that subject. She told a group of people one time, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop and you look fear in the face. Now, I know that in life there will be times when you will experience a fear. It's only human, and that's okay. But during those times in my life when I have felt that fear of failure assault me, I either gave into the fear or I stood and faced it. While facing the fear was harder than giving in, it definitely was worth more to me when I stood. I think that we have taught you here at Young Harris how to stand. Third, and speaking of failure, here are two things that I want you to remember. Failure is an event in life. It's not a person. The second one is failure is not the end of leadership and success. It is the beginning. For example, few people realize that Thomas Edison failed 200 times before he invented the light bulb. To one critic who was very critical of him, asked him, how does it feel to fail 200 times? Edison replied, I have learned 200 ways how not to make a light bulb. But he also shared this. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. You heard Paxton say it. You've heard other people say it. You've got to be out there, and you can't be afraid. With that said, I have just 4 pieces of advice I want to leave with you today. First, do not be fearful of attempting to heal broken relationships. First, forgive yourself. And if possible, begin to heal relationships with your family and friends. That can start today. Second, if possible, hug your parent or your guardian. Believe me, there will come a time in your life when you wish that you could. As a parent of 2 children, I can tell you that we parents are not perfect. Parents? Amen. But what I will tell you is this, believe it or not, most of the time, we meant well. Some of you either have or will have children, and this may sound strange, but when you play games with little ones, sometimes let them win. The little ones need to sense victory today more than ever. and there's nothing wrong with giving them that confidence. I would also tell you that if you do have a child in your life at some point, early on when that child is in this world, begin to keep a journal about them and for them. In it, write down your personal struggles, your successes, and your thoughts about the child. When they reach the appropriate age, around 13, give them the journal. I can tell you firsthand, it will be a greater help to them than you can imagine, and it will strengthen your relationship with them more than you can imagine. Finally, I encourage you to look up the meaning of the word commitment. Write it on a note card. Place the note card in locations where you can see it daily. For the important things in life, like relationships, marriage, parenting, friendship, and your spiritual life, are going to have to be based on commitment, not convenience. In our southern manner of speaking, we have a tendency to join words together to form new meanings. One such word in the South is spitting image. Have you ever heard that? You usually hear it when they're describing somebody. He's the spitting image of his father. She's the spitting image of her mother. One school of thought is that's the actual combination of two words, spirit and image. And it means that the person not only resembles the individual physically, but they have the same heart, soul, and mind as that person. Having known you, I will tell you that you're the spitting image of Young Harris College. You have the minds and hearts as big as the mountains that surround this campus, and you're ready to go empower and inspire. Now, I ask the graduates to stand. Now, I charge you to go into the world and serve, inspire, and empower, always remembering that you can learn through your service and that you will always be someone who needs your help. But remember, the true test of a servant is how you will feel when someone treats you like a servant. I charge you to be a steward of the environment. You've had the opportunity to see pristine mountains and clean streams. You have also experienced the environment and you know the right things to do. However, the greatest reason that I give this charge to you is because you have a responsibility to the generation that is following you. You must pass on to them a world that they too can enjoy. I charge you to remember this college and friendships you have made. Remember the late nights with friends. Remember those who supported you in their educational endeavor. Come back to see us. There would be no greater heartbreak for us than if we never saw you again. This place should be special to you, and you're special to us. Don't be afraid to let that known. I charge you to continue learning for the rest of your lives. Things will change quickly, and the more that you learn, the better you will be able to adjust to the change. Finally, I charge you to seek God. There will come a time in your life when you have to cling to your faith that there is a higher being. Remember that the people you will serve and the world you will tend belong to something bigger than any human. With these words and this charge, I close. Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are of tiny matters compared to what lies within us." We know what lies within you, and we're proud to call you graduates. May God go with you and bless you. To signify that you have earned your degrees, you may now move your tassels from the right side of your mortarboard to your left. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating these new graduates. Now I ask you to please remain standing and join us in singing our alma mater. The words are on the printed in your program, followed by the benediction by Reverend Blair Tolbert.
pointing toward the sky, there stands our alma mater dear. That's where our hearts all lie. We're true to thee, dear YHC. Thy fame is our delight. We hail thee, alma mater dear, thy purple and thy white. Though time may pass o'er these dear halls, we'll still come back to thee, and still we'll cherish memories of our days at YHC. We're true to thee, dear YHC. Thy fame is our delight. We hail thee, alma mater dear, thy purple and thy white.
To the graduates, to all gathered, may we receive this blessing of sending forth as we soon depart from the Enchanted Valley. As you have been called to walk with each other, to work with each other, to work side by side, may you have the courage to go into the world being led by the Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer of life, who guides you with grace and hope, and who challenges you with the gifts of wisdom, mercy, and justice, and who journeys with you, offering love and light to your every breath, step, word, and deed. And may you find a path beyond this sacred valley to do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. May the world know us by our love. O God, let it be. Amen.